Alright, welcome to Damascus, Virginia, and the start of the Mid-Atlantic BDR. I am going to do something a little different on this one than I've been doing before, which was I'm no longer going to stop recording when I'm off-road, because I know that almost half of this route is paved, and so if I tried to stop recording when I was on paved roads and only show the unpaved stuff, I would be recording very briefly. And then we are going to set off and see what the Mid-Atlantic BDR has in store. Back on a BDR. Have been on a BDR in over a month. Mid-Atlantic BDR is considered the easiest of the BDRs per the BDR organizations, though there are still technical aspects of it, and obviously a lot can change based on weather, so you never really know. So what's changed since the Colorado BDR? Biggest thing is this is an adventure spec jersey, which I'm going to be using over the top of my super shirt. It keeps some of the sun off of me, so it lowers the temperature of the, because the super shirt's all black, so it kind of absorbs the sun when I'm in sun. This just minimizes that. It's still super breathable, so you're not really adding a layer. Switched to the Moscow Moto. This is their Wildcat 12. It's a 12-liter hydration pack, and I added the chest carrier because I'm from the military and I am used to having stuff on my chest where it's handy. So that's holding my inReach, snacks, got some stickers in there, stuff like that. And then also, this is the Gnome tank bag. It's oriented horizontally versus vertically on the tank, and so it's really nice because I'm not carrying my mirrorless anymore. I just kind of realized I wasn't ever using it. I was just using my phone for pictures, and this holds everything that I need to hold, and it's much more out of my way. I liked the Enduristan 4H. I obviously used it a long time. Even when, especially going up and down hills and stuff like that, there were still times where it would be, I would hit it. It would be in my way. And this is not. It's so much smaller, and it sits in a different orientation. So even when I stand up, unless I'm basically leaned over my handlebars, I'm not touching it. Alright, I don't know if this is going to go to dirt immediately or if it's going to be a while, but this is where we're going. So, I have never really ridden my motorcycle on the East Coast, like any motorcycle. I was realizing that on the way out here. All my motorcycle stuff has been west of the Mississippi, so this is going to be different. I ended up delaying my departure from the Mountain View Motorcycle Campground by a day just because it kept raining. Also, if you're going to come out and do the MABDR, especially if you're coming from the south, stop at Motorcycle View or Mountain View Motorcycle Campground. Like, that place is incredible. It's perfect. I hope the Southeast BDR ends up going through there, near there, because it's just perfect. They got tent spots, they got bunk houses, they got actual camper cabins if you want to really be fancy. And Janine and Mark are super nice. He actually has a shop there, so he can do like tire changes and like some basic stuff. I wouldn't try and do anything too crazy there. I had shipped a set of tires to him because I was anticipating the tires on the bike being basically shot by the time I got out here, because I did 1,500 miles of pavement to get here. And these tires already did the Wyoming and Colorado BDRs, and got out here and realized, I've still got a couple thousand probably left on these. Well, Mark is getting ready to go up and do the Northeast BDR starting on like the 11th. And he has a friend who owns a motorcycle shop in Bethel, Connecticut. He agreed to just take the tires up to him and drop them off with him on his way through. So I'm going to do the Mid-Atlantic BDR and the first 2 to 2.5 sections of Northeast BDR on the tires that I've had on. and then get those swapped when I get to near Bethel, and go from there on fresh tires. Yeah, they're good people. And I ended up just taking basically 2 days and editing footage. So I got a ton of the Dakota 600 stuff done, which was good. I needed that. I needed to do that. Oh yeah, new gloves. These are the Adventure Spec Dirt Glove. I do also have their Alpine Glove, which is like a wind-proof version. I'm really liking these so far. They're really comfortable. Super flexible. And yeah, I just like them. Alright, first dirt. That's gorgeous. God, this is super pretty. One thing you gotta pay attention to with the East Coast BDRs is the population density is so much higher than the West Coast. All of the Western BDRs, you are generally not in communities and in, these people's homes and neighborhoods. And so you've really got to be careful when you're out here on the East Coast of being polite going through people's neighborhoods. Don't be ripping through here. That's how you get people pissed off and they close parts of the route. Wild turkeys. There's 2 there. Are there any more? Hi guys. God, you're big. Some of these roads are just so cool. A lot of this stuff dates back to the founding of the country. Cool little bridge. Boop. And I will go back and forth around the Appalachian Trail. Pretty much if you're from west of the Mississippi or north of the Mason-Dixon line, you say Appalachian. And everybody down here calls it the Appalachian. So, these things are cool. God, it's freaking dark back here. Gotta be careful about oncoming, but at the same time I gotta be able to see. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to fly the drone back here. It would get through, but it would need to be going slow just to be able to go under all of the brush, and I'm not sure how reliable the GPS signal would be. They cut these roads just to get through this rock, basically, and you end up with these neat little, cliffs on either side of the road. This way, okay. That is one thing they said on the video and in a lot of the online stuff. If you're going to ride this route, you need a reliable GPS. And it needs to have the roads marked on it because it is very twisty. There are a lot of turns. There's a lot of side roads and other stuff that if you don't have a GPS that shows you this stuff, you're going to end up off the route. So yeah, have a good GPS. Don't try and do this with a map. There's too many little turns. There's too many little things. You'll miss stuff. I know these are going to be kind of boring videos. I apologize. The pavement's not particularly interesting. That's why I don't normally record when I'm riding on pavement. But it's just kind of what it is. The population density on the East Coast is so high that trying to find off-road routes across an area is not easy. So far, at least, I can't really say that I would advise this as an intro to the BDRs, just because you're on pavement. It's more of a touring route. Idaho was a lot more of a good introduction to the BDRs because you're in dirt most of the time. It's just fairly simple dirt, and so you're able to kind of get a feel for riding off-road and doing this stuff. So if you rode this and you're like, oh yeah, I'm good to go on one of the other BDRs, you'd be in for a rude awakening. Oh, but yeah, next town I go through, try and stop for lunch. So far it's just been super pleasant, you know, it's not difficult. Zoom in. Alright. Back onto some dirt. This is pretty fun. I can tell I have a lot of pressure in my tires. It just feels very different. Yeah, I would say already, if you find Mid-Atlantic to be difficult, probably go and get some training or practice a fair amount before you go and try any of the other BDRs. Because if you find this to be difficult, you're going to be in for a really rude awakening on basically any of the other BDRs. This would probably be a really good BDR if your interest wasn't necessarily in the riding or the technicality of or difficulty of the riding, but like the history of the area. Because, you know, I'm going to go right by Antietam. I'm going to, you know, there's super historical sites and buildings and events all along this route. It's just not particularly difficult riding. God, it's beautiful. It's so pretty back here. It's just a complete shift in riding experience over the rest of the BDRs, because all the other ones are in the west. It tends to be a lot of really open vistas, dry pine forests, and a lot of times it's at pretty high altitude, and it's a complete opposite experience. You know, you're at low altitude, everything is so wet, and you're around people all the time. Oh, it was Adam Sandoval. He's a big Harley rider. Has a big, real popular YouTube channel. Him and a group of guys came out and did this, and most of them were on modified Harleys to make them off-road bikes. I need to look. I don't know that he actually finished it or not, because in like the first 2 days, I think they lost half of their riding group. Bikes breaking to people wrecking and having to stop, like all sorts of stuff. I mean, I guess I get it, because anytime you have people on dirt, especially if they're not familiar with it, you run the risk of stuff happening. Oof. And if you're losing 3 or 4 people in the first couple of days, yeah, you're planning. There's something wrong with your planning process and your prep at that point. The problem I think I'm going to have with video and stuff is all of it looks the same. You know, you're just surrounded by trees, and it's going to be really difficult to differentiate areas. I mean, this is beautiful, but I'm not going to be able to tell you what it looks like afterwards, because so far all of it kind of looks the same. I mean, even the road surface and the dirt is the same color. switched my camera cords, so hopefully this one will work. I think it might be a cord issue. Ran into a couple of guys from Wisconsin, or Michigan, but they are doing it as well, so they'll be behind me most of this, I would imagine. KLR and a T7, so they've been having fun. Sounds like they were planning on stopping at the end of section 1 tonight at one of the campgrounds or something that's there. It was a good little lunch though. It was Trent's Corner, grocery and gas station and whatever. That was about perfect. I can't read that. It's something campground. Oh, that's right, because this is Dismal Creek. God, the names of some of these places are so funny. How bad of a day did you have to name something Dismal Creek? Let's see where they've had washouts on the roads. They've had to fill in the gaps with gravel. For days. That's all I've been in is tree tunnel. God, it is beautiful back here. Just every shade of green you can imagine. Definitely see how this road gets people in trouble. You get in one of these without expecting it, it wouldn't take much to either slide or go wide. There's deer. Got at least one buck. It's like a buck and a harem. Hey ladies. Go left. That's a hell of a place. Stay on the road. Hello, Widowmaker. Good God. Let's not take the camera out. Hey, dear. Yeah, I can see why people screw this up. Speed is not necessarily your friend back here. Consistency is your friend. That's a big one. Come around that corner going fast. That would ruin you. It's actually pretty deep. I ended up on a crap line there. Alright, that's better. Why do they do this to roads? God, that's really bad. Going straight. Looks like this is opening up now. Oh, pavement. Okay. At some point here shortly, my cameras are going to start turning off because the memory card's being full. Hopefully this is the end of dirt for this section. 192 miles to Masonville or something like that. 'Tis very humid this morning. We'll see where we end up today. I really don't know. And it seems like most of today I'm kind of a little bit to the west of the Appalachian Trail. I parallel it for quite a long time, but I'm never right with the trail as far as I can tell. And a lower chance of rain today, so I may still get rained on, but it's not as likely, so I may escape it. It is very foggy and humid morning. God, this is how most horror movies start. If I hear banjos, I'm turning around. I think that would have been further south, but it's actually beautiful back here. It is just, it's like riding through the rainforest every time. I don't know that my drone's going to get much work on this trip. It would do okay in here, but I wouldn't be able to ride fast. I would kind of think that I'll see people throughout the route. I mean, I know that there are other people out on the route. It's kind of nice to know that you're not the only damn person out here. Oh, that's third. Okay, I was in fourth, I guess. But yeah, it's kind of nice when you know that you're not just out here by your damn self. Just can't say it enough. Bob's starting to try and make an appearance. Just a 7-day trip through Fern Gully. It's just so beautiful back here. Section 3 is also the longest section of this BDR. You know, it's almost 200 miles. So, you get dropped back down below the clouds / fog. There's a reason parts of the Appalachians are called the Great Smoky Mountains. Warm Springs Inn, 22 miles. Cannot tell you the number of times I had to check Google to see which state I was in. It's just such a different experience out here on the East Coast. What's nice is, you know, there's no dust. There's like everything's so wet. And this ground is normally pretty wet, so it's able to retain a lot of it. So I've had very little mud and essentially no dust of any kind. That's a big one. Oof. There we go. Like, I'm not racing, I'm not in a hurry to get anywhere, but God, it's fun to just rip through here every once in a while. Because you really can. The tablet doesn't appear to be charging, but it's also not discharging, so they did do a bunch of updates recently, so I'm wondering if one of them was just a goof with the charging information. God knows, it seems like every time you do a major update on a device, it breaks something. So there was a tour group that posted in the MABDR Facebook group, and they said that they did a MABDR tour, and they took 12 days to do it. How much sightseeing are you doing? Because good Lord, I expect to probably be able to do this entire route in about a week. How the hell did you go that slow? Second, it didn't look like that was the correct direction. Water crossing. Second. Okay. I'm gonna go over here. That's the first, like, legit water crossing. Maybe go left. Oh, pavement. Okay. Oh, dog. There's 120 miles basically to Smoke Hole Resort, and I may stop there tonight because that would let me get some editing done. Because yeah, last night I didn't get in. I think I hit Covington at like 7, which was fine. I mean, I did 240 miles yesterday. We'll see. I mean, if I'm hitting the Smoke Hole Resort at 1 o'clock in the afternoon or something, then I'm just gonna go. Alright. Ugh, that leaf about slapped me right in the face. Here you can start seeing some leaves changing. I could get lucky and up north get a whole lot of color. We'll see, but God, I was hoping that would be what would happen. Some big damn puddles back in here, aren't there? The drone through this. This is all just really fun. Like, I know I'm not saying anything, but I'm just riding. Yeah, this has been the most technical section of the BDR so far. But even this stuff, I mean, realistically, this is still easier than 90% of the rest of the BDRs. Every other BDR has something significantly more difficult than anything that's been on this BDR so far. Saw tire marks from that. Somebody came through hot. Came in hot again. See, I think it's a big bike, but because based on the tire, but I keep seeing them go wide in turns. Oh man, it's like the same 4 turns over and over and over again. Because every one of these little ravines that you cross is the same pattern. So I'll come up, I'll come around this to the right. That guy went wide again. I'll come down here, and it'll be a sweeping left with some mud and stuff in the back of it, and then a climb back up to the next sweeping right around the edge of the mountain.
1 hour later.
Alright, it's gonna be kind of a wet day. That's Daryl on the 650. Have fun, stay dry as much as you can. Sounds like a lot of today is gonna be nothing but paved. My mic disconnected yesterday at some point. I'll find out tonight when I check footage whether or not I have a working microphone. Expect that I will get somewhere north of Harper's Ferry today, and the plan is to have kind of a long day to just try and get as clear from this as I can. And it looks like on the weather reports that the next couple of days might be, especially against Sunday, it starts getting really rainy, and so PA Wilds may not be an option because it might be an absolute mess. It's basically 8 o'clock. I wanted to get going earlier, like I like to be moving sometimes as early as 7 o'clock and stuff, but I can't anymore because it's still dark at 7. going, buddy. There you go. Don't want to chase you. Watch for horse and buggy. God, I saw a video. Somebody shared a video I saw of a Amish. I mean, it had to be a teenager or somebody, but comes merging onto this road, on this main road from a side road, and just full on drifts this carriage, like throwing sparks off the wheels and fully sideways. I'm pretty sure he broke one of his wheels. You know, the horse is just at a dead out sprint. And it was like, oh my god. Can Tokyo drift Pennsylvania Dutch style. It was amazing. I'm not saying much. I mean, I'm sorry. It's this. Like, it's just roads. Miles from the end of the segment. It was 143, I want to say. That's a lot of pavement at the beginning. This is a very bipolar road. Dirt that wants to be paved, and paved that wants to be dirt. It's just a field. Yet 6,000 people die just trying to keep the country together. So the cornfield, which is basically what they've put in here, was the site of some of the heaviest fighting. Then you have the sunken road, which I should come up here in a minute. Tens and tens of thousands of people marching across the fields. artillery. About 9:30 a.m. the battle started to shift from the north end of the battlefield towards the sunken road 180 yards to your right. So down here. 2 divisions from the Union 2nd Corps moved across the Mama and Roulette farm fields in front of you. Initially, over 5,000 soldiers commanded by General French assaulted the Confederate positions. Approximately an hour later, Israel Richardson's division of over 4,000 men moved in to support him. So yeah, they were all pushing, the Union forces were pushing south towards the river. And the sunken road coming up here was stacked with bodies. The Union forces got onto one of the flanks. I'm guessing this, to my right, because they would then be able to shoot down into the trench. You know, straight in front of me is the sunken road, and so that was an area where the Confederates dug in quite heavily and then basically got flanked and just got basically annihilated. And then here's your cornfield, which was also where some of the heaviest Union casualties were experienced. Something like 2,500 people died just in this section right here. They said the cornfield was cut. By the end of the day, there was not a stalk of corn still standing. And it was cut as close to the ground as if you had done it with a knife. And that's just because of all of the bullets. You're talking about multiple divisions of troops maneuvering and pushing across terrain. You know, a couple 100,000 people trying to get position on each other and killing each other. We're gonna get going. What's unfortunate is the only reason we know so much about these battles is because both sides were fought by Americans. A lot of them kept journals. You know, we have the point now where we're able to look at the records and the accounts of people from both sides. Alright, we'll see how far we get. Slow down, elderly at play. This looks like it might go to dirt. Yep. Hi guys. Alright. Is there some dirt? It's the first dirt I've been on since that little short section. That I haven't gone on I'm surprised there has not been a single covered bridge. Another cool bridge. And nice. There's dirt. Alright. Hi. This is fun, at least. 7 miles to camping. It's only 3:45. Hi, dear. You move on out. Hi. I get the feeling I'm gonna go back to pavement like really quick, but hey, screw it. I'll take dirt wherever I can get it at this point. I can see why it's called Poplar Grove, though. Because look around. $60 miles to the end of the segment. Oh, it feels good to stand up. And it feels good to be on dirt. 50 miles to the end of the segment. That'll be section 6, or section 5 complete. We'll start with section 6. Oh man, it is pretty back here. This is just beautiful. Wow. More racing vertical. Ow. I'm getting hit by bugs in the face. Directions are hard. Still got 30 miles, which should be about an hour. So I probably will not have the head cam the entire way. See why people might think Bigfoot would live around here. Let's talk about it. So, why does Bigfoot almost certainly not exist, at least in the lower 48 of North America? The simplest answer to that is population density. There's other answers, like the fact that we never have found remains of a large hominid. The sightings are invariably garbage. I mean, how many deer and moose and bear and all this other stuff have I gotten on video from just happening to drive by and catching one crossing the road, to where you don't have someone on a dash cam or a helmet cam or something like that catch a legit Bigfoot crossing the road in front of them. The other side of that is just population density. An animal like that could not exist on the East Coast without there being regular sightings of it, because there are so many people that live here. Doesn't matter how dense the forest is. I mean, look around you. You've still got people coming and going. A hunter would have shot one by now. You know, they would have incontrovertible evidence that it exists by now. Is it possible that an animal like that exists somewhere on the planet? Yes. That's my argument. There's a remote possibility that something like that could exist up in far North America, Canada. Still very unlikely. You know, you have researchers, you have all of these organizations that still go up there and look at wildlife and do research and try and find a new species. Again, one of them would have found something. somebody would have killed one. Somebody would have found a body. Something. Anything. They're fun stories. They're entertaining. It's possible an animal species like that has existed at some point in the past, but around here, no. Of course, I'm gonna laugh because I'm gonna say this and then watch. I'm gonna have a Bigfoot sighting, which would be hysterical. But I'm pretty confident that that's not going to occur. So. Can't see it, but welcome to Carlisle, Pennsylvania, and it does look like PA Wilds is not going to be possible. So it is supposed to be quite rainy tomorrow. I'm not sure how well the regular route's gonna be tomorrow, but trying to do PA Wilds would just be a mess because it's gonna have heavy rain on it for tomorrow and probably the next day. And it just won't be worth trying to do. I mean, you saw the mud in the expedition video. I mean, they were hitting severe mud anyway, and they weren't even getting rained on. God, I can see barely anything. I'm not going any faster than this. But yeah, just navigating back to the route, and we'll see what today brings. It should be quite fun. So that was 248 miles yesterday. Not looking to do another one of those today. I know that I'm going to be more off-road than I have been for the last bit. 101 miles to the end of the segment. Gas and grocery in 77, which is when I'll get gas. That's really cool. Dirt. Let's see what Pennsylvania's like. This the best riding of the trip so far. You know, I mean, none of it's particularly technical, but this is just beautiful. This is so peaceful. I mean, I'm flying along at 35, and it's peaceful. it's hard not to like go fast because the roads are just so much fun. Like, I'm not trying to race or go fast or anything. It's just, these are so much fun to ride fast. You almost can't help yourself. You just get going. You're like, oh, I'm doing 50. maybe I shouldn't be doing this. What is this? Licking Creek Drive. Okay. Oh, hello. Alright, 5 more miles to the end of the segment. Good news is you would think most of those horses are pretty used to vehicles passing them and stuff like that. You just gotta do it gently and as quietly as possible. Don't buzz them, or the Amish are very nice, just good all-around people. They're very rugged in their beliefs. You don't have to agree with them to respect them, and I respect them. Oh, butterfly. God, I hit you with my nose. Hiking trail. Wow. Road is amazing. They're straight as an arrow and smooth as glass. I mean, it's not difficult riding at all, but it's still fun. If you've watched the MABDR expedition video, you know the Greenwood furnace is basically an old furnace that they use generally for making like brick, pottery, and stuff like that, as well as then metalworking. But there were furnaces such as this kind of scattered all over the country. You know, they're essentially forges, you know, making various products. There's not much of it left. I'm not going to pay the fee to get into it. It's a state park, so I can't get in with my access pass. But there's a few of the kilns that are kind of somewhat intact. Apparently, basically all of the trees around here have regrown since the furnace stopped being operated, because basically they had to cut down all the trees to feed the furnaces. So at some point they were cutting an acre a day. Alright, subs and grocery, 1 mile. Oh god. Ugh, wake up. Here it is. Oh hey. Those are both Tenerays? Looks like 2 Tenerays. Is that possible? Yes, it is. How's it going? I see twins.
1 hour later.
Welcome to Couches. Just had lunch here. It was excellent. And I ran into 2 guys going south on Tenere 700s. They just finished the New England BDR, and now they're doing the Mid-Atlantic BDR on their way down south to home, which is Georgia. Alright, let's go do the thing. Oh man, that was a good break. I needed that. And guys I talked to said northeast wasn't too bad, especially if I end up doing non-expert sections. They did all the expert sections except for I think they said one, and they said they weren't that bad. They're also both former trials riders and stuff, so I would imagine they're fairly experienced. So I'll probably finish tomorrow. I'm not sure how far I'm going to get today. The biggest question is going to be, how bad does it rain? Because I think I'm going to be getting pissed on pretty much all of tomorrow. Hi, shorn sheep. Naked sheep. This has been very pleasant. Not a fan of all the pavement, but I get it. There's not much you can do about it. This is a very pleasant ride. How's it going? Are you guys doing the scouting for the ride, or?
Are they?
There's like some dual sport ride. I see the signs up on the trees.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Oh, okay, cool. This is the Mid-Atlantic BDR.
How many weeks are you out here?
Well, I hit the road in April.
That's pretty awesome. You go out
Yeah.
for that long.
Yeah, I've been out on the road since April. I'm actually doing all of the BDRs.
Okay.
So I'm connecting up to Canada.
Wow.
And then after that, the only ones I got left is I got sections of California and Nevada, and then I'm done.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
Solo?
Yeah. I rode Washington with a group of guys, but otherwise I've been by myself for all of them.
When are you going to be finished?
I'll do California and Nevada in November after it cools down a little bit. I don't feel like riding in 130 degrees if I can help it.
Cool. Are you sponsored by anybody, or?
Not really. I do YouTube stuff and things like that. So, yeah, I had heard that there was like a dual sport ride going on, and I might cross it. I saw a bunch of people like scouting stuff yesterday.
Mix a single track, on road, off road.
Stuff that probably wouldn't be a whole lot of fun on this.
You could probably run it.
I could probably do some of it. I might be too fat for parts of it.
Run a lot of it, huh?
Maybe take the bags off.
Yeah, yeah. If I took all the stuff off of this bike,
There's a couple guys on big bikes.
Yeah.
I
saw 1200. I think.
You can run a lot of this.
love
It just single track could get a little tight, but other than
Sure.
that, you could run a lot. There's a
well,
lot
I mean, God, the MABDR, the route's been so smooth. I'm just cruising along in 5th gear at 50.
yeah.
So.
No, this is a real fun area to ride in Pennsylvania. I don't know how many bikes are out here today.
Are you doing the wilds?
No, because I'm probably going to be in that area tomorrow, and it's probably going to be pouring on me. So I'm just going to be trying to get out of Pennsylvania at that point. Well, I'm going to get going, but
Good luck.
have fun.
Right, this is your Instagram?
Instagram and YouTube and stuff, yeah.
What is it?
Instagram and YouTube and all that,
Man, I'm
yeah.
gonna shoot 'em all. Yeah, that's awesome. Have fun, brother.
Yep, you too.
Dual sport guy.
What's that?
Remember the outlaw dual sport guy?
Outlaw dual sport? Okay.
That'll be the guy who.
Well, and watch for yourself on the video, so.
Guys, love you, man.
It'll be a while till it comes out, but it'll be in there eventually.
We'll watch it. Hey, have fun.
Yeah, take it easy.
Take care.
Yeah, if I didn't have any luggage on, I might be able to do a lot of the single track and stuff. If there's somebody on a 1200, then I would probably be just fine. This is the alt. I can't read it. Deal? I don't know. I can't read it. Something like that. And it's actually shorter than the regular route, which is just over to my right. From everything I've heard, the expert sections on the MABDR are about the same as the regular sections on everything else. So if I can handle that, should be able to handle this. Group photo spot. This is the alt? Why isn't this the route? There's nothing, I mean, I guess maybe if this is muddy it might be kind of a mess, but... Is this why this is an expert section? A slightly rocky descent? The stuff in section 3 is worse than this. As much room as I can. two-stroke. Yeah, I mean, that's not horrible by any means. You can pick just about any line you want, and you'll make it through. Going up that would probably be a little bit more challenging, but it still wouldn't be bad. Just pick your line and keep your momentum. Hello from my room. I am going to pack all this up. Got a little bit of editing done. It's supposed to be very rainy tomorrow. It's supposed to start raining at about 1 a.m. and continue until who the hell knows. So, rain gear's out. It's basically just gonna be get to the border. I think I figured out it's roughly 140 miles. It's gonna be a rainy day tomorrow. It's not gonna be a whole lot of fun footage. I will still be filming, but it's probably gonna be real dreary, and I'm not sure how good it's gonna work. Can't fly the drone if it's raining, so the drone will go in my tail bag. I will have the 360 camera. It's still waterproof. So one more day on the Mid-Atlantic BDR, 140 miles to the border. And it's gonna be another inauspicious finish of a backcountry discovery route. I keep having kind of really bad finishes to some of these. Yeah, it's just it is what it is. It's not vacation travel, it's adventure travel. So it's all about that. Pack all this up as much as I can and be ready to go pretty much as soon as I feel like getting up in the morning. Because it's going to be raining all day, I probably won't be wearing my sunglasses, so I may get up fairly early and just head out. I will see you all in the morning, and we're gonna go get damp. Moist. plugs and music going. You guys doing the BDR?
Yep, you?
Yep.
How much road before we get out of the rain?
I don't know. I've been in rain all morning, so
Great.
you know.
Out of the ride, right?
Yeah. You'll go. There's a gas station, some other stuff. You'll pass a campground on your left when you're on pavement, I believe.
Yep.
And then there's one kind of rocky hill.
Oh, okay.
But other than that, it's all stuff like this. I mean, even with the rain, I've been hauling ass.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no. Once you're out of Pennsylvania, it's probably 70% paved.
Oh yeah.
There's
okay.
some fun stuff, but it's pretty much all paved.
Good.
So, but yeah, I mean,
fun just being out riding.
pretty much. You know, none of it's been super difficult.
Yeah, you're the first one I've come across so far. So.
I've seen several. I know there's 2 people that are probably a day or 2 behind me at this point.
But we just left. We stayed at Colton. I came down from Maine yesterday.
Okay.
Stayed at Colton State Park. He came up from Richmond, Virginia.
Nice.
So we met. We're headed that way.
Cool. Yeah, I'm headed over to connect to the Northeast BDR and continue up from there. So.
Have a safe ride.
You too.
Give me the beat.